what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Ron Jovi, coming at you live from Bond Street, USA, right here in beautiful ETW studios, with our normal preview show guest,
What's with the attitude today, Ron?
Man,
feels like something's a little different about you this week.
I had a rough month, all right? It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Did you shave?
I did shave, yes. I did that today.
Something's not quite. Wait a minute. It's your normal. It's because Brian Jeffries scalped you at Spoils of War. That's what it is. You don't have your normal Fabio radiance today.
It's Fabio Honey, first of all. And I'm not medically cleared to discuss that situation at this point.
So
you got the papers. You know what I'm talking about.
So you won't talk about it, and it seems to be an empty chair. Besides your essence missing, we're also missing somebody over there.
Yeah, Cap couldn't make it today. He had a lot of stuff going on, family matters. And
we miss you, Cap.
We do. Please hurry back, because I can't take this guy by myself. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I've got some good news then. Because, I did get all the documentation from your psychiatrist and how you're not medically cleared to talk about the torment and trauma you suffered at Spoils of War. I brought somebody in to be here with us today who wants nothing more than to talk about the torment and trauma you suffered at Spoils of War. Should I bring him in? Let's bring him on in here.
Oh, God.
That's right. It's your best friend, fellow super fan, and a person who really seemed to enjoy Spoils of War. It's Doug O'Dell.
Hey, good to see you.
Glad you could be here.
Great to be here. Well, I did enjoy Spoils of War. It was I would
awful.
say, no, it was definitely the best show yet.
Speaking of best show yet, I can actually hear people clicking on this YouTube link. I can already feel this is going to be a sensation of an episode.
Yeah, this is probably, I think one of the reasons why I'm here is for viewers, obviously, and then, of course, to recap the latest and greatest show at ETW.
Are you thrown off by him not having his mullet wig here?
Oh, whoa, wait a second. It's definitely not a mullet, but where is the lady wig?
I don't know, all right? Somebody took it. If anybody out there has seen my Fabio Honey mullet wig, not a lady wig, it's a mullet wig. It is business up front, party in the back. Just please send me an email, yourboyronjovi@gmail.com.
It seemed really distraught the last time I saw it. It was laying prone in the ETW ring, and Andrew, the benchmark boy, had just pinned it, and it seemed really dejected and defeated.
Actually,
much like you.
I take the other, I thought that it looked happy, it looked pleased, just to be separated from you. So wherever you are, Lady Wig, I hope you're having a good time.
What's the email address that if anybody has seen the Lady Wig, what's the email address they can use?
yourboyronjovi@gmail.com.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and please email in because, after sitting here with you, the Lady Wig does improve the look. Yeah. So please get the Lady Wig back.
Of sins.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. So why don't you monitor the inbox? Keep us updated on the hunt for the Lady Wig. We're going to talk a little bit about Spoils of War, an event where you, and correct us if we're wrong here on anything, you were guest commissioner for the day. You set up 4 matches and seemed to somehow go 0 for 5 on matches that you'd even set up yourself. I'm not even sure how that is humanly possible, but you nailed it, Commissioner. You nailed it.
I mean, I did what I could. I will say I have a respect for what you do now. It's not as easy as I thought it was.
It's still my heart.
Yeah, seriously, won't you hug him?
No.
Yeah, reach over.
No.
Okay. Were you going to talk about the
no, that's all I can
Hold on a second, wait a second.
I'm not medically cleared.
The Ron Jovi's Spoils of War.
ETW presents Colin. He was
right.
So particular.
Okay.
It took us forever to get the promotional materials made.
Probably spent a lot of money on that.
Oh my goodness.
Printing
the colon, the colon, they charge extra for a colon.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. ETW presents Colin, Ron Jovi's with an apostrophe. These are all characters that we had to pay for.
It has been it's been a few weeks though, and I have a hard time remembering. Can you tell us what happened?
Who, me?
Let's run it down. Let's see. He somehow he tried to give Danimal a chance to get revenge with Hairband and Wolfman, and then Danimal's partner, his normal partner, didn't show up for him, and then Tristan Ramsey showed up and left him. That was a quick 0 for 1 there.
I mean, you can't really. That wasn't really my fault, though, right?
Then your spectacular, your Titanic of an idea. You had the first ever 6-person gender neutrality tag match where you came up. I'll give you you shocked me with some of your picks on the mullet mercenaries. Tommy Coffey coming to ETW is something that I will admit we've been trying to negotiate for a while. You get him in here as a mullet mercenary. Sarah Dox comes back. The fans were, really surprised to see her. And then you had Rick Savage thrown in there, a School of Morton guy who's making waves. It was an impressive group, but they'd never teamed before, ever. I don't even know if they'd even met before you put them together. And you put them in there with the Bad Boys Club in a six-man match to where the men and women could be in the ring at the same time. Who'd have thunk that Shane Andrews and Nick Taylor are terrible enough people to keep Sarah Dox in the ring and just ragdoll her for the entire match? Good plan.
Well, my favorite part about that match was the ending. When you and Shane kind of had that little exchange.
Moment.
Well, it really wasn't an exchange.
It was not an exchange at
you
all.
kind of hunkered down a bit in that sweet little commissioner's chair.
The throne that Mama Jovi came. She spent the whole week in here building the special throne.
It was
for
a beautiful
special
chair.
boy.
It was
and
a
then
beautiful chair.
there
Thanks,
was
Mama
a
Jovi.
pea stain at the end of the night. A giant pea stain on Mama Jovi's throne after what happened in that match.
See, now you cost more money with janitorial services cleaning up your mess again for the spoils of war.
So that match clearly didn't go your way.
Well, but that was the greatest part of that match was Shane telling you at the end of the, just how
much he loved you.
Right.
Then we
He's
get
a
into
good guy.
here's where I really started to get confused. The third match, you give Brandon Christopher, your boy, your favorite, you give him the nod off, and you send the anomaly Mark Kegley in there with the one and only Aiden Brady.
Yeah.
In a legit one-on-one match. You surprised me there. The outcome did not surprise me. Aiden Brady took care of business. You go 0 for 3 there. You're putting all your chips in on the main event to try to take the ETW championship away from the benchmark.
Yeah.
You send the premier choice, Brian Jeffries, out there. They
Wait,
have a legit
wait,
war.
wait. Purple Pants. Let's clarify
Purple
that.
Pants comes to the ring. They have a legit war. It doesn't go your way. You try to give Brian the chain. He doesn't want to use the chain. He loses the match. Then you seem to lose your temper a little bit, and then you lost your lady wig. I mean, you got in the ring. Brian Jeffries wasn't having any of it. He scalped you. You scurried away. You moved really fast, like a sci-fi creature. I got to give you that.
Disappeared
Just
like
whoosh.
Houdini.
I was right there, and you were gone, and the ferret skin was in the ring, and then it got pinned, and the playbook was there. It really came off the rails.
The playbook probably should have been pinned as well, because it was finished.
The playbook, as I flip through it after, it's just full of doodles and stickman drawings. I don't know how it ever
The
accomplished
truth,
anything.
you've heard it here. It was stickmen,
It was-
doodles, probably some crayons.
It was
as
a
well.
long night for Ron Jovi. We won't
Well,
belabor the point. I will
but-
say, I heard you got an apology from Nick Taylor for what happened at Fan Wars.
Yeah,
during the
Nick
night.
did finally right that wrong, and I appreciate what he did. He came to me personally and apologized for the Ron Jovi betrayal. So, Nick, I do not blame you. This man sitting next to me is who that I blame for that fiasco. But back to Brian Jeffries, I appreciate him doing the right thing at the end of the night, not taking the chain, the hidden chain, which I still have some issues with BDC not seeing during going back to the Fan Wars, but that's another day. So
No, let's talk about that.
no,
Yeah.
we're still not finished
No,
with the what was it called? Ron Jovi's Spoils of War.
Colin.
Because Colin. The ending was the greatest ending yet. So great show.
The fans
honestly.
really went home happy on
Yeah.
that one. All
Honestly,
but maybe one or two fans on the Ron Jovi side. The rest of the fans went home.
And let's
upset.
face it, those one or two don't matter. But I think that they kind of like the ending as well. So you might want to check with them. Maybe they have the lady wig.
Besides you having to go to the psychiatrist and get consultations and all that, there is some other major fallout coming out of Spoils of War. And it's unfortunate and it's not at all fun, but we are going to have to crown a new champion here in ETW at our next event. That's because Andrew the Benchmark Boyd was injured during his match with the Premier Choice Brian Jeffries.
Did I not
A lot of
call
folks, you got some room to crow here, although I don't think you're in good standing with Brian Jeffries.
I sent
at the
him a
end of
fruit
the night.
basket. We should be okay.
A lot of folks saw during the match a lot of blood coming from the mouth of the Benchmark, and we were hopeful maybe he had just bit his tongue or had a tooth knocked loose or something, but that was some internal issues. He's going to be away from the ring for several months. Being the champion that he is, he came to the office, he said, you're going to have to take the belt, I'm forfeiting the title. If I can't defend it in a timely fashion, I want somebody else to have it who can fight for the fans on Bond Street. He's a stand-up guy for that, but unfortunately, that left us without a main event for Danger Zone, and we have quickly assembled what I think the fans are going to be ecstatic about.
You're going to
a
give
championship match at Danger Zone.
Brian Jeffries, the Ronda Rousey of ETW. You're going to give him a rematch.
No. So
Brandon Christopher,
no.
that super heavyweight sensation.
So we sat down. We knew first thing, Hairband had already signed on for a title match. He had earned a title match. So Hairband is one of the two gentlemen who will be in the Danger Zone main event
That's
for
fair.
the ETW championship.
It's named after him.
You got a point. This event is in his back pocket, theme-wise. Then we got to find him an opponent. So we start looking. The one when the committee sat down, and it was a prestigious committee.
There's a committee?
Yeah, you're not on it. When we sat down, we said the September power rankings. We'll maybe be able to put those on the screen, but I don't have a lot of time to talk about them. The opponent for Hairband has to be in the top 10 of the September power rankings. So, as we warned you last month, you put your boy Brian Jeffries in a title shot match when he was ranked 10th. He lost that match, fair and square. He'll tell you, he didn't use your chain. He fell out of the rankings. Had he not fallen out of the rankings, he might have gotten that shot because he did take the champ out. But he's not in the top 10. He was not a consideration.
Brandon Christopher
Was in consideration.
Exactly.
But you gave him the night off at the last show. There was a lot of folks on the committee that said, hey, where's the fight in that guy? He was the sole survivor of Fan Wars that takes the night off. So there was some question about his dependability and his, the claim he had on that shot. So we came up with a solution.
You, right? Big Daddy Collins.
My name was thrown around a little bit, but it's not the time for that. It's not the place for that. I'm sitting down in like 7th place on the rankings.
A solid 7.
I appreciate
just for the record.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we did come up with somebody who's in the top 10 of the rankings, who won their match at Spoils of War, who made the champion Andrew the Benchmark Boyd tap out in controversial fashion. If you'll remember, Aiden Brady made Andrew the Benchmark Boyd tap out. A lot of folks say that tap out happened before the 3 count.
It did not.
Our referees, Tommy Bradshaw
Oh,
and Charles Winters, had a disagreement. We ended up restarting the match. Back in May, the Benchmark became the first champion. A lot of folks thought Aiden Brady should have been the first champion. And now he's got his chance. September 19th at the Danger Zone in the main event, inarguably the two most popular forces here in ETW. I know you're speechless about this. Aiden Brady versus Hairband for the championship. What do you say about that?
Well, let me say this. I mean, it's going to be an amazing main event. But I am kind of torn because I am such a super fan, and I would call it the super fan.
You've been here longer than Ron Jovi.
Yeah, and if we could just kind of go back, I mean, certainly I have been here longer than you, way longer. From the very beginning, the very first night, I was on the front row, cheering, booing for the appropriate people, of course cheering for the right ones, which you don't really understand that. But I've been here. I am very saddened to hear about Andrew the Benchmark Boyd, and certainly get well soon and come back, and whoever comes out victorious at Danger Zone, I hope that you get another shot one day. But to the main event, I am a bit torn because I've grown fondly of both of them. They are both very popular, and so I don't know what to do. I'm kind of torn.
What do you say, Ron?
I got nothing. The people that deserve to be in this match are being downtrodden by this committee, this prestigious committee that nobody's ever seen, heard from, anything like that. You just go and pick your 2 favorite guys and be like, here, just go ahead. At least Andrew earned his shot going through the ranks of the tournament. You didn't even give the super heavyweight sensation an opportunity to be in the tournament.
Again, the guy stopped answering our phone calls. He didn't take a spot in the tournament. He wins. He's the sole survivor of Fan Wars. Then he doesn't show up for Spoils Award. He says you give him the night off. All I know is there's the committee, which included, a little bit of insight here. Your lady wig was on the committee. It had a vote. It was very outspoken this last week. It had a lot to say. It was firmly behind this decision to have Aiden Brady take on Hairband for the championship.
So you have seen the lady wig.
I mean, it was in
was
passing. We had a committee meeting at Shoney's.
Okay.
The Lady Wig was there. It's working night shifts at Shoney's. I let that out of the bag.
Oh,
It mops.
interesting.
It does some handiwork around the place. But
Nice
that's our main
little
event. But, we got a whole card to talk about here. I know you don't want to talk about Spoils of War, but how about we talk about Danger Zone? You're going to be back in your comfortable spot on the front row.
Whoa.
As a
Not
fan.
in the super commissioner's chair, though, right? I mean,
No,
you
no,
have
no,
thrown
no,
it in the
no.
dumpster.
Yeah, Mama Jovi's throne with the pea stain.
Okay.
It had to be taken out. There'll be no more
I
thrones.
thought we were moving on.
Yeah.
I thought we
We
were
are.
moving on.
We are.
So I'm going to give you guys some insight on this card. As you said, you got a little new respect for how we run the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a little insight into what you can expect September 19th on Bond Street. Obviously, the main event, this crowd is going to be electric. There's no doubt about that. So what else have we got going on? After the little tag match that you put him in, I got a call from Dan. And he asked me, actually somewhat politely, if he could open the show with some sort of special announcement just to address the crowd. And I think he wants to address you in there somewhere too.
Well, no.
We got Danimal's going to open the show,
Oh, Lord.
and I don't know what to expect. Do you know what you've been kind of close with Danimal in the past? You put him on your team, the Mullet Club.
I'll tell you, I really can't speak to that at all right now. I don't know what's going through Daniel's head at all. Obviously, there was a little bit of a maybe miscommunication on when and where to be. I don't know, but
At Fan Wars, I know Matt Raby and Tristan Ramsey left the ring together after just being terrible, terrible people and laying their hands on the official during that match. They got ejected. They seemed to be buddy-buddy, which is disgusting. They were ejected. They left together, but Danimal didn't seem to take that very well.
He didn't.
And then you put him in that tag match, and I think you meant for it to be Danimal and Matt Raby.
yeah, that was the plan.
Matt Raby, Danimal comes out, he can't find him. Tristan Ramsey rolls out to be his partner and then rolls out and leaves him laying after dropping the knee on him.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where Danimal's at in the headspace right now, but I'm going to give him the time on the microphone to say whatever he needs to say to start the show.
Nope. I think that needs to be addressed, honestly. Daniel, if you're watching this show, I know you are. I had nothing to do with that at all, so no need to address me. All right, I've been addressed enough. Thank you.
Well, you have been addressed, certainly, by wrestlers here before, so maybe we'll get a peek at that at Danger Zone. So.
The other big thing that a lot of folks are talking about, I've been watching the Facebook, there's a lot of excitement. Billy Bob Youngblood is going to make his professional wrestling debut at Danger Zone.
Is that big dude that keeps
is
coming out here
the
messing
big
everything
dude
up?
who, I can tell you get speechless when Billy Bob Youngblood gets in your face. I don't blame you. He's the biggest man to ever come into Bond Street, USA, and he's coming to the ring. He's going to be in a tag match. I don't want to give all the details away yet, but you're going to see the professional wrestling debut of Billy Bob Youngblood. What do you think about that, Doug?
Well, have you made him mad yet?
I would not do that.
Yeah, I mean, if I can give you any advice, I mean, I would certainly tell you to not do that, but at the same time, with the history you have, I'm sure it's coming, and Billy Bob, I know that you'll know what to do. So.
I can tell you who has made Billy Bob mad, and that's J.D. Rising. And I don't envy him one bit, but then also there'll be no crying on my part if Billy Bob Youngblood picks J.D. Rising apart piece by piece and eats him. I really don't care.
Why is it always about eating with you? I'm just glad he's actually going to do something for once instead of just come out here and scare everybody, run everybody off, making kids cry. I'm just glad he's actually going to put up and show up and do something.
Speaking of making kids cry, the last thing I can tell you about Danger Zone, the guy that I suspended for the rest of the month of August after he laid his hands on Tommy Bradshaw, Cadillac Cowboy, is coming back at Danger Zone. And all I've heard from him through Daddy Mac, that's the only person you can talk to, is Daddy Mac.
CMA, baby.
Daddy Mac says they've got a big surprise planned.
Good.
They're going to, shock everybody on Bond Street, including me and the
Good.
Wig and the whole committee. We're going to be floored. We'll see. Cadillac's on thin ice. What he did to the officials, what he's done to the crowd, he's on thin ice around here. So I'm going to give them the time. We'll see what their surprise is. We'll see how that plays out at Danger Zone. But I can tell you the Cadillac will be back in the house.
Good. I'm glad that somebody that's not afraid of your bullying techniques is finally here. And it's not surprising to me to hear that he's on thin ice and he's been suspended and all that. I'm glad somebody's here to put you in your place. Cadillac, Daddy Mac, welcome back. we've missed you. Come back soon.
Finally, some good news for Ron Jovi. Some of his friends and people that are on his level will be here. So,
Yeah, they're
Look-
great people.
yeah, they seem like it.
Anyway, the danger zone, folks, I hope you'll show up. Just erase from your mind that whole catastrophe that was ETW Presents Ron Jovi's with an apostrophe Spoils of War.
And if you need medical help with it, he's cutting checks right now. He is
There is
responsible
some
for
counseling
that.
available. If seeing the lady wig, I mean, it shot off like a geyser.
Yes.
It got incredible. It nearly hit the ceiling here on Bond Street. It came down and laid prone in the ring. If seeing that disturbed you or your children, contact me. We'll try to work out some counseling. We'll let you visit the wig maybe and seek mediation with it. But, you know, I gotta say, your new look, it might catch on. That middle of the road,
Probably
my
not.
life's going nowhere, I'm still wearing my 1998 championship hat look. It's gonna catch on.
Hey, I didn't wear my 98 championship shirt today, though.
No. It's not going to catch on. But as you can tell, your attitude, it has gotten better throughout the show. The farther we get away from
I
sports, of
think
war,
more
so
blood may be getting
Yeah.
to his head, and over time it may be able to reverse some of the brain damage.
when you wear, I heard that is one of the effects of lady wig wearing is the blood flow issue. So good to have you back, and I look forward to big things on September the 19th, and probably seeing you get yelled at some more.
No. Let's not do that, everybody. Let's be easy, be cool. All right? No need to be upset. Just get down here, Danger Zone, September 19th. We're going to have a new champion.
We're going to have a new champion. It feels weird to even say that. You got to be here. You're going to see the second ever ETW champion crowned. I guarantee it.
And hopefully I'll be back on the front row because of the last commission.
Definitely, he'll be back on the front row. Speaking, you said good to have you earlier. It's been great to have you on the
Yeah,
show today.
thank you. It's
like it's a bit of breath of fresh air. The captain
Sure.
does a great job.
Yeah.
But to have a man of your intellect,
Yeah, thank you.
your professional wrestling knowledge.
Yes.
I mean, you've been around since before Ricky the Steamboat Dragon
Oh,
was
yeah,
even around.
the old,
so I mean, just to have a guy with your depth of knowledge here with us. You know, why don't we go to Shoney's and we'll start the next committee meeting.
Yeah.
We'll let Ron finish up here.
We'll visit with the wig while we're there.
We'll see you guys
Lady
September
wig.
19th.
All right, y'all. Take her easy.